This morning, we're going to a new church. I had a really good time last night at this church. I'm really excited, and I'm excited to find out what my family thinks about it. I kind of feel like something new might be happening.
Lord, thanks for today. Thank you for being able to get up and worship with other people. Thank you for a safe drive for us and anyone else traveling to their churches today, and for just a really nice time. We love you, Jesus. We think you're amazing. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Before I even walked in the place, there was a guy, and he was like, "Hey, welcome home." He was incredibly friendly. And not only that, I saw smiling faces everywhere. Like, people were just smiling, and they smiled at me. And then again, like I said, when I went into the sanctuary and they were doing the teaching portion of it, it seemed like there was people that were engaged. I don't know, I kind of have a good feeling about this.
I really like their motto is living the kingdom in faith, family, and finances. And I think that that's really cool. Plus, we got some friends there, so that's cool.
Yeah. All right, well, we're here, so.
One of the things to know about me is when I go to a church, I have one ear to the Spirit, right? I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? What's gonna happen? Am I to be involved? And so I'm not always the one that's desirous of rushing out of church at the end of the service. Not to mention, when I went on the Saturday beforehand, I ran into a couple people that I knew that I wanted to introduce my family to. Unfortunately, my wife and my children wanted to leave right away. So I was paying attention to all of the things that were happening. I was paying attention to the needs of my wife and to the needs of my daughter and to the needs of my sons. But I was also paying attention to possibly what God is going to do. So I tell my family, let's just wait a bit. You know, there's a couple people I want to see. This is the first time we're coming here. I don't want to rush out of here. Let's just kind of give it some time. I understand that everybody's hungry. I understand that you guys want to go. We will go. But just let's exercise some patience. They did. But although they did, my kids continued to ask to leave. And my son was like visibly walking out of the store because he wanted to go. My wife and my daughter, you know, they were sticking around. I know my wife, and I could tell when she's annoyed, you know, their heart was not in it. And honestly, it got frustrating. I got really upset. My wife she's, you know, tried to talk to me and I just wouldn't respond, or I would respond very short. So I end up taking out the trash. And as I'm taking out the trash, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm thinking about the situation and the scenario. And the thought occurs to me, like, man, they must think that I'm a terrible husband and father, that I'm completely unaware and oblivious or don't care about their needs. And that hit me. They may not say that, but they're acting that way. The impatience is kind of giving off the vibe, if you will, that that's how they feel. And I thought about it, and I was like, no, that's not the case. I'm fully aware. So as I was thinking about this more, I was thinking about our relationship with God. How oblivious and unaware do we think He is? How neglectful sometimes do we think He is? Look, we may not say these things. We may not say that God is being neglectful. We may not actually say those words. We may not say that God is unaware. We may not even say those words. But by our complaining, by our actions, it's telling a different story. Do we ever stop to think that God actually knows what it is that we need? Yes, we can read it through the scriptures, but do we actually consciously consider these things? That God who knows everything, that God who is love, that God who is good, that God who desires only the best for us is taking care of everything. He's not just sitting on his throne, like playing on a phone like we might, right? He's actually aware of what's happening on earth. He's actually concerned. He's actually invested. He's actually so invested that he sent his son to redeem us so that way we can be more invested in what he's invested in. The Holy Spirit has been sent here so that way the will of heaven can be here on earth. Like, do we consider these things, or do we just let our emotions fly? And do we become negligent? Do we become oblivious and unaware of what God's seeing? Nevertheless, like, I've got something that I'm considering now about God. Now it's a matter of me just renewing my mind to believe what it is that God just revealed and become that reflection. While I was editing, I didn't have that footage, so I'm saying it here, and then I'm going to get back to editing so I can release this video.
Okay, so you guys went to a different church today.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
That was good.
So what'd you think of the church?
I really enjoyed going. When we first got there, a guy came up in a golf cart and offered us a ride from our car to the front of the building, which I thought was really nice. We just weren't like totally out of the car yet and ready for it. We didn't use his service, but it was nice that he offered, so I thought that was kind of cool. I've never seen that before. When we got inside, everyone was very welcoming. It looked like you know, they were happy to be there together. We got to check our kids in, and I went straight to the nursing mom's room. They had like the TV so we could see everything that was going on and hear everything that was going on, and it worked, which was nice. It was cool because everybody was still engaged in the teaching. She talked about healing, so then I was asking some of the moms if they've ever seen a miraculous healing in their own lives. And the two that were in there at the time when I asked, they said no, and they were like, what about you? So I told them about when I got the new knee. I said, you know, when you get miraculously healed, like no one can take that away from you. So it was kind of cool just getting to do that. I had a really nice time. I forget who I was telling, or maybe I was just thinking it to myself, but like, you know, we just kind of feel like a change is coming, and this might be a step in that direction. I don't know. So we'll see.
Cool.